Because somewhere inside you, there is still a version of yourself watching all of this in disbelief, watching you procrastinate, watching you scroll, watching you negotiate with weakness every single day. And the worst part? You know exactly what needs to change. That is what makes this painful. If you were confused, you could blame ignorance. But you are not confused. You are abandoning yourself consciously, one decision at a time. Every time you choose comfort over growth, your mind notices. Every time you avoid difficulty, your mind notices. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," your mind notices. Nothing goes unnoticed internally. That is why your confidence is dying. Because confidence is not built from positive thinking. It is built from self-trust. And self-trust dies when your actions become unreliable. Look at your recent patterns honestly. How many times have you motivated yourself, only to disappear again? How many times have you planned a new life, then betrayed it within days? At this point, your own mind hears your goals and no longer believes you. That is dangerous.
Because once a person stops believing themselves, discipline begins to feel impossible. Not hard, impossible. You start every morning with ambition and end every night escaping reality. That cycle destroys people, especially ambitious people, because ambitious people suffer differently. Average people feel pain from failure. Ambitious people feel pain from wasted capability. That pain is heavier. It follows you into quiet rooms, into late nights, into moments where the distractions finally stop and you are forced to meet yourself again. And when that moment comes, you feel it immediately. The gap, the distance between who you are and who you know you could be. That gap is eating you alive. Not loudly, silently, like rust. And rust is dangerous because it spreads slowly. First, your discipline weakens. Then your standards weaken. Then your focus weakens. Then eventually, your identity weakens. You stop seeing yourself as someone capable of greatness. Now, you just want relief. That is the transformation nobody notices until it is too late. You did not become weak overnight. You adapted to comfort gradually. One escape at a time. One excuse at a time. One avoided responsibility.
Your nervous system became overstimulated and under-challenged at the same time. Too much consumption, not enough resistance. Too much dopamine, not enough purpose. You are flooded with entertainment while starving for meaning, and your mind knows it. That is why nothing feels satisfying anymore. Not the scrolling, not the distractions, not the temporary comfort. Because pleasure without progress eventually turns into self-disgust. Read that again internally. Pleasure without progress becomes self-disgust. That is the feeling slowly growing inside millions of people right now. Not because they are incapable, because they abandoned the hard things that make human beings respect themselves. Discipline, focus, consistency, sacrifice, delayed gratification. Those qualities are painful in the short term, but avoiding them creates a much deeper pain later. The pain of watching your own potential expire unused. And that pain changes people. Some become bitter. Some become numb.
Some become addicted to distraction because distraction is easier than confronting reality. But a few people eventually reach a breaking point, a moment where they become disgusted enough to change. Not motivated, disgusted. There is a difference. Motivation wants results. Disgust demands transformation. Motivation disappears when things become uncomfortable. Disgust survives because the current version of yourself becomes unbearable to tolerate. That is the shift you need. Not another motivational video, not another productivity hack, not another perfect morning routine. You need standards strong enough to interrupt your self-destruction. Because right now, your habits are not accidental. They are votes. Every action is casting a vote for the person you are becoming.
Every distraction casts a vote. Every excuse casts a vote. Every difficult action avoided casts a vote. And right now, many of you are voting daily for a future you secretly fear. Think about that. Your current behavior is manufacturing your future personality. That should terrify you. Because if nothing changes, 5 years from now, you will not simply have fewer results. You will have a weaker mind, less discipline, less confidence, less resilience, less belief in yourself. Avoidance compounds, just like discipline does. And eventually, the compounded effect becomes identity. That is why some people walk into a room with certainty, while others shrink themselves automatically. One person trained courage, the other trained escape. Both became what they practiced. So stop lying to yourself. You do not need more time.
You need war against the version of yourself that keeps choosing immediate comfort over long-term self-respect. Because your future is not disappearing suddenly. It is being traded away daily for temporary relief. That is the real tragedy. Not failure, voluntary mediocrity. A slow surrender repeated so many times, it starts feeling normal. But it is not normal. You were built for more than this cycle, more than distraction, more than avoidance, more than emotional weakness disguised as comfort. And the terrifying truth is this: your future self is watching your decisions right now, watching what you tolerate, watching what you repeat, watching what you continue postponing. The question is, but how much longer will you keep becoming someone you would never admire? Because eventually, your excuses stop sounding convincing, even to you. And when that moment arrives, you have two choices: continue abandoning yourself, or rebuild the ability to trust yourself again. One painful decision at a time, one disciplined action at a time, one resisted urge at a time. That is how people reclaim themselves. Not through motivation, through resistance. So no, you're not stuck. You are undisciplined in ways that have slowly damaged your identity. And the longer you avoid confronting that reality, the more your potential turns into regret. If this felt uncomfortable, good. Comfort is what destroyed your momentum in the first place. Subscribe if you are done watching your potential decay in silence. And watch the next video now, because your addiction to comfort is turning you into someone your younger self would never recognize.